Welcome in, everybody. Merry Yule. Happy winter solstice. I am so happy to be with you for this sacred and holy event because even though, and I'm always honest with you, this is not my favorite holiday. Thank you for that. Yeah, it was a little too loud. Even though this is not my favorite holiday, because winter's not my favorite season. There is so much beauty about tonight, and I want to share it with you from my perspective, and I want to welcome you in. You see me, I see you, and you see hot glue. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But yes, we are making the most beautiful wreath tonight. This is the example of what we are crafting tonight. I'm going to hold it correctly this time. So this is actually what we're making together. And I want you to feel free to make it your own. If you, here's what I'm going to tell you, is because sometimes people say, well, I don't have the tools. If you did not get the Yule toolkit for next month, or for this month, I'm sorry. If you did not get the tools, I want you to feel free to improvise, okay? You might have in your garden, might be under some snow right now, some cedar that you could take tonight and wrap together end to end with ribbon and make your own wreath, which I think would be really beautiful, and just tie it with ribbon and go with me for the journey, okay? You might have, I know it sounds bad, but you might have a natural Christmas tree that you could go behind and kind of like snippety snip if it's not too dry, and take one of the branches and wrap it with me and make your own. So the reason we make wreaths at Yuletide is because what it represents is the never-ending cycle of nature. Today, 2023, in our ancient legend and lore, today, 2023, is dead. This is the death of the year. And I don't mean that in a bad way. You know, it's so funny. In our culture, in Western culture, death is this thing that we are terrified of because we want things to go on forever. We want to live forever. Our culture is obsessed with youth. But death is another form of renewal. One of the oldest sacred symbols in any tradition is the Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its tail. And it represents the sacred truth that death begins a new life and life begins a new death, ultimately, right? Everything that is born will go pass. And so here's what I'm going to tell you tonight. First of all, again, happy Yule. Yule comes from the Old Norse Yule, J-O-L. And what it represents is the passing of all of the seasons of 2023. It's the longest night of the year, the shortest day of the year. It got dark here, it felt like at noon today. I swear after 12 p.m. Even and I and Jasmine were outside trying to shoot some video at like, I don't know what it was it like 4 p.m. And it's like, wow, it might as well be midnight, right? I mean, it already was starting to feel dark. But after tonight, my favorite day of the year is December 22nd, which is tomorrow. And do you know why? Because the days get longer. And I'm a summer baby. I don't like nighttime. I like nighttime, but I don't want it to last for 140 hours every night, right? Like by 6 p.m. right now, we all feel like it's midnight and we should be in bed. I like nighttime to begin when nighttime should begin, which is around 11 p.m. I want to be out and in warmth until then. So yes, it's winter fast, it's Yule, it's winter solstice. I want to teach you what solstice means. So we have 4 major holidays of the year. We have the 2 equinoxes and we have the 2 solstices. Equinox in Latin is equinox. Equi is equal, nox is night. So at the equinoxes, we have equal parts day and night. So in March, right, we have the spring equinox. Day and night are equal. And in the fall, we have equal, same number of hours of daylight as nighttime. At solstice, which is tonight, and also summer solstice, that stands for sol, which is sun. Also in Spanish, sol is sun. And sistere in Latin, sistere, which is the sun standing still for the longest it does the whole year. Tonight, is the shortest night in the Southern Hemisphere. The sun is standing still if you're below the equator. At the summer solstice, the sun will stand still for us, and it won't get dark here in Los Angeles until like almost 10 p.m. So the solstices are the nights when there's no balance. The equinox are the nights when there is balance. I've been teaching you this for what feels like 100 years, but I love to teach you Latin. I used to teach Latin to college students. It's still my favorite language, and it helped me learn French and Spanish and Italian. It's sort of the root of a lot of our words in English as well, so it helps you to know what tonight represents is there's no balance in nature. She's never been more out of balance. So if you feel out of balance, can I get a show in the feed? How many of you feel out of balance? I do, you probably do. It's because there is no balance right now. It's too dark in the north, it's too light in the south, and then we'll do a flippy flop in June where everybody in New Zealand and everybody in Australia, which we have so many family members, Sage Goddess family members down there, you guys will feel the alternative effects. We'll be celebrating and dancing in the sun, and you guys will be like yawning. Any questions about solstice, Yule, what it means to be in the start of winter? What winter represents for me, and I just want to share this personally. I love how many of you are out of balance. Fuck it. You know, super balanced people are normal. I have friends who are very balanced, and I can be around them for very short periods of time. They're not that fun. I raise my Diet Coke to you if you're out of balance. I prefer a little imbalance in my friendship circle. Don't you have friends who are like super balanced and even keeled, and you're like, where's the party, right? So I prefer to keep it interesting. You never quite know what's going to happen. I want to give you some good news, okay? First of all, Mercury's in the microwave right now, right? It's retrograde. It will go direct on January 2nd in just about a week. And then all planets are direct for a little while. So that means everything that 2023 made you feel like wasn't possible. How many of you feel like you have dreams deferred from 2023? Like relationships didn't turn out the way you wanted. That was certainly true for me. Work may have not have turned out the way you wanted. 2024 is going, it's like right now, do you feel it? It's like a slingshot like this. Like you just wait. January becomes the release of the arrow from the quiver. It becomes a release of the rubber band from your hands. And then whatever you really want to create, once Mercury goes direct, we have every other major and minor planet in stationary direct mode. And so we won't have any obstacles astrologically to overcome, which I think is really incredible. So if you've been feeling it, the new year is not just a new year this year. It is a full astrological reboot, and I'm ready for it. I know you're ready for it too. 2023 needs to go back where it came from. And then 2024 is going to be this really cool year of abundance. It's an 8-year in numerology, so it's going to really open the doors for us to create what we want to create coming up. I'm going to be very honest, as I always am with you. My roots are Christian. My grandmother was a minister. I sing happy birthday to Jesus on Christmas Eve. And my sister and I are baking him a cake. We're naughty though. We're not like the normal people who celebrate Jesus' birthday. In fact, our mantra has been that we are whipping our cream for Jesus this year, which sounds really, really bad, but we're making whipped cream and gingerbread for Jesus. But I have a whole nativity set up at home. I was raised in a Christian household. I call this season Christmas. You don't have to call it that. But I really, I had a really powerful lived experience with Jesus Christ in my own life. So I'm not here to proselytize, but I will tell you I do celebrate Jesus' birthday this weekend because I had that really crazy experience, and it was crazy real. No one can tell me that it isn't real, but I am not here to convince you that it's real. I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas if you also feel connected to Christ consciousness. What I will tell you too is, and I love that you're putting like your little ice cream emojis in the feed for me for whipping cream for Jesus. You know, I have to believe Jesus had a sense of humor, or he wouldn't tolerate me for very long. But we do. We sing happy birthday to Jesus as a tradition in my household. My mom loved it. We did it every year, so we carry it on in her name. It's our third Christmas without my mom. What I want to tell you is this. Whether you come from the Jewish faith, the Muslim, faith and tradition, the Buddhist faith and tradition, the Christian, whatever you come from, we all are walking one road. I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah, also a merry and happy Kwanzaa. And I want to wish you a blessed Yule, because we all are walking one road and it leads to the same place. So Merry Christmas. But if you've ever wondered, like, sometimes she talks about Jesus and it seems really real for her, I am telling you, I was wide awake when I had my experience. I used to talk about it. I don't talk about it so much anymore. But if you ever wonder why I talk about it, for some people, religion is very hypothetical. For me, it is something that really came to life for me in a dramatic moment, and it changed my life. And it reminded me that all of the, what we call the ascended masters, are very real, and they come to you in your moment and hour of need. So we will be celebrating Jesus' birthday this weekend. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it's a beautiful and blessed celebration for you. I also believe in my heart of hearts that if Jesus is real, which I believe to be true, a true story, then all the other stories are true too. And Jesus was pretty cool, pretty open-minded. I have a feeling he would like the Buddhists. Jesus practiced and preached love and kindness and compassion and truth and wisdom and all of the things. And so in my way of thinking about Jesus, I think that there really isn't anyone that Jesus wouldn't have true love for. Amen, aho, and so it is. I remember telling my mom about my experience because she was always talking about Jesus, and I was always like, it seemed so abstract to me. And then when I had my experience, I remember calling her, and she was like, oh, good. I don't have to convince you anymore. But I think we're all walking one road to a very sacred place. May it bless you wherever you're going. So a little bit of white sage for you. Yeah. My favorite part of this next week is that even though I don't, like winter, no me gusta at all, being cold or anything like that, what I really love about this next week is it's quiet. People take time off. Like the earth seems to go into a state of stillness. So I want to invite you right now just to kind of roll your shoulders back, come into this moment with me. I'm going to open my circle. And I want to invite you just to be here now. If you're here, I'm so grateful. I do these ceremonies online for you as a gift to bring us all together around these really sacred moments and holidays. So I'm going to burn my Palo Santo too because it came with your kit. And I just want to remind you how important you are and how important your faith and your spiritual practice and your traditions are. Wherever your path takes you. And then just bring the smoke of your Palo Santo. We gave you 3 different infused Palo Santo sticks in this month's kit, so you kind of get to taste the rainbow. I mean, there's cinnamon. The cinnamon one's really good. I love cinnamon and Palo Santo. If you remember, we did a really beautiful cinnamon and Palo Santo candle for you a few years back, and it's everybody's favorite. Do you remember that one? Tatawari. So this is kind of tatawari in like an infused stick form, and then we gave you the I want to make sure I'm correct about the 3. You got the pine infused, balsam fir infused, which is the first one I burned, and then the cinnamon infused, which is my favorite. And you can burn them all, or you can do them one at a time. Aw, Jennifer says, that was from Jackson. I think he's saying Auntie Athena looks beautiful in her red top. I had to kind of put on red tonight because it's a very Yule color. I don't have like a dark green shawl, so I had to go kind of like extra Yule for you tonight. By the way, on my SoundCloud playlists, I have all my favorite Christmas songs on a playlist from when I was a kid and even now as an adult. So if you are looking for just kind of like a good Christmas playlist to listen to, you can always you can Google Sage Goddess SoundCloud, and my Christmas playlist is on there and it's public, so you can enjoy all of that. So I'm so glad that you guys are here tonight. Okay, so we're going to start by lighting our candle. winter time and winter solstice in particular is a really important time to bring in the element of fire. So I want to begin by lighting our hearth side candle. This for me is going to be the candle. I'm lighting it for the first time tonight, but it's going to be the one that I burn all the way through the season. There's pine, so there's all the big trees in here. Pine, which is for kindness, protection, and purification. Juniper, which is for protection and peace. Then there's clove, which is for abundance. Did you know that clove is for abundance? It's kind of like cinnamon that way. It brings in everything that you seek and desire. There's chestnut for warmth and for comfort, but then to like ground it down, we put oak moss in there. Oak moss is the divine masculine. It's like a big grandfatherly hug. And then there's amber for grounding and healing. So I don't know if you've loved this candle so much, but it's been one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoy it too. And then our perfume, I think we're waiting on our perfume. So, but your perfume is, it'll be here in just a minute, Yuletide Spice, which is chestnut. It's kind of the same notes. It's chestnut, pine, fir, spruce. We put more of the big trees into your Yuletide Spice. Thank you. Emergency delivery. So this is, for me, Yuletide Spice. And Team SG, I don't know if we have any of this on its own. This is Christmas in a bottle. Did you guys smell it? Oh my God. So I'm gonna anoint with it. I'm going to hand it off to Team SG so you can smell it. It literally, you tell me, but it's like the fresh tree in your house, and I'm an artificial tree girl, so I'm sorry, but I do artificial trees because I do colored trees and it's weird. But I always miss the smell, and then it smells like cookies in the oven. So a little at your wrist for what you do, a little bit at your third eye for what you know, and a little bit at your wrist to bless your steps. And then I'm handing this over to Haven because it's Christmas in a bottle.
Is it better than the North?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Okay, Will you
yeah.
tell me?
Yeah.
She's like, is it better than the North? It has the balsam fir in it, so it's the North plus plus plus.
That's good.
It's Haven approved. Okay, what I'm going to tell you too is your crystals for tonight that you're going to put on your, this is just me, but you do you. The crystals that you're going to put on your wreath tonight, take your perfume and you want to, isn't it so good? Oh, we don't have any more? Shit. I always do that. I always tell you guys about things. Can we make more? Watch my team go. Damn it, Athena. I always do that with like things we don't have. You have a pink tree? So did you hear about my sapphire tree? I won't digress too much because we have so much to do tonight. Anyway, I'm anointing my stones with we should have called this North plus plus plus. We should have called it like North squared or North to the fourth power or whatever. Anyway, all of your stones that are going on your wreath, you can anoint. If you really wanted to go nuts, I'm not going to do it, but I might do it. Did you know about Sorry Ribbon? It holds scent. So what you do is put your oil in your hand. If you love this perfume as much as I do, and it came with your kit. And then take your Sorry ribbons and rub your oils through it because Sorry silk holds scent forever. So like 10 years from now, these will still smell like. Did you know that? If you like North, you're going to lose your damn mind. We didn't have anything left over from the set. Okay. Well. That's my special gift, is telling you about stuff that we don't have. Sorry. You do need glue unless you have a special way of attaching things to things with your mind. I don't have that very unique gift, so I have a hot glue gun. I'm going to try not to burn myself or anyone else with it. I'm known to leave hot glue gun activities with like glue on my hands and on my clothes. So I'm not a clean crafter, but I'm a fun crafter, and that's what matters. It is my special gift. Okay. Okay, so a couple things we want to do first to kick us off. Oh, I was going to tell you about my tree. So I have an amethyst tree and a ruby tree at home, and I have a peacock tree. And I've always wanted a sapphire tree. So I'm in this mom's group on Facebook called Swap and Shop. And I was like, I'm going to wait until I'm really inspired to do my sapphire tree. This group is so much fun, but you have to like be in my neighborhood to participate, but it's like, it's the hot group to be in. So this incredible woman where I live had all these vintage indigo blue ornaments. like from the 50s and 60s when they made them with like real glass and all the things. And I'm talking boxes of them. And she was practically giving them away. And then she had little ornaments with hand-stitched forget-me-nots in dark blue thread and all these things. And so I went and bought all of her ornaments. I Venmoed her and picked them up from her doorstep. And then I bought myself an indigo blue tree. And of course, like blue pipe cleaners, because that's how I attach my ornaments to my tree. And next year I'm doing a sapphire tree. And I'm so excited about it. I don't think it's going to get done this year, but her ornaments were like the sign from God that I was waiting for, that this sapphire tree was supposed to happen. So I will share my sapphire tree with you. You've seen my amethyst tree. We did a little video in social, so you've seen that. My ruby tree, which is my, like, you know, with all the kids' ornaments and stuff. But sapphire tree is in the works thanks to this wonderful woman. And she's like, you know, we decided to go to a different direction with our color scheme. And I'm like, that's right, girl, because this one over here was waiting for your indigo ornaments, and there's like 100 ornaments. So I'm really, really excited. Yeah, you need an indigo tree, don't you? Okay, are you ready? I'm excited to share it with you. Okay, so the first thing we want to do on Yule night is we want to experience the energy. So again, I want you to, now that we've talked and connected for the first time fully tonight, I want you to bring your energy into this moment. And I want to thank all of you for being here, by the way, because it is Christmas weekend and it's a busy time. I know you're planning and spending time with your family. You can keep me on in the background too if you need to while you're doing what you need to do. But I want you to take a minute and I want you to visualize your body as being the 4 directions. So your head is the north, your arms are east and west, your hips and your legs and your feet are the south. And I want you to imagine, as I call in the 4 directions tonight, I want you to know and imagine that the place of stillness, and this isn't just tonight, but always, is your heart. That's your North Star, right? If you think about it, like all of the energy from your hands comes into your heart. All of the energy from the above comes to your heart. All the energy from below comes to your heart. Your heart is your 4th chakra. It's the center of your energetic system. And what happens if your heart stops beating? You die within about a minute or 2, right? Like you have to have the heart. And we always say heart-centered leadership, heart-centered service, heart-centered everything, right? Like we make decisions with our head, but we should be making decisions with our heart. So tonight I want you to focus on what it means to bring everything in. You know, if you do things with your right hand, stop doing for a minute and just be. If you know, the left is the feminine. If you're constantly thinking about, you know, energies coming to you that aren't serving you or whatever that is, let all of that go and bring that in. And I want you to bring your head down and focus on your heart. And bring your, if you're sitting, bring your, you know, sit crisscross applesauce or bring sort of your knees toward your chest. And I want you to come into a really inward position just for this moment and bring all of the focus from outside of you into your heart, from above you. Stop thinking for a minute, move into feeling, right? Take a breath there. Don't move right now. Like stop walking and moving around just for a second. Imagine all the energy from your feet. Give your feet a break. And bring all of that energy up through the root chakra and the sacral chakra and the solar plexus and bring it right up to the heart space. And if you can, get so quiet that you can feel your heartbeat. That's the goal right now. I don't know if you have a partner or beloved, or if you have in the past. My favorite thing is to either hug heart to heart or just, you know, lay on someone's heartbeat just to feel the heartbeat. It's so intimate. The heartbeat is the first sign that you have life, right? I remember the first time I saw my kids' heartbeats on the ultrasound, it was like, oh my gosh, there's Nick, there's Zoe, right? And your heartbeat, I watched my mom's heart stop. I watched it slow down until it was gone. So I've seen life begin and I've seen life end with the heart. It's a very sacred thing. And so tonight we give thanks for the beginnings and the endings. Just like we give thanks tonight for the beginning of 2023, think back tonight to everything you thought 2023 would be for you, or what it would bring, or what it would manifest. And give thanks for all those things that like did happen, you know, all of the dreams you did make come true, or the moves you did make. Maybe you moved physically from one place to another, or maybe you moved from one relationship to another, or maybe you moved, for me, I moved kind of from one state of consciousness to another. I saved a life this year. My beautiful Paxton, who would have not lived if I hadn't adopted him in April. And sometimes at night, because he's the size of a grown human, he lays kind of like this in the bed, and he's huge, and he lays right next to me, and sometimes I just sleep on his heartbeat. And I think about how that life, that heartbeat in part is mine, right? So I didn't know 2023 was going to bring me a big goofy dog, but it sure did. I'm grateful for him. And then also, let's give thanks too for the things that 2023 took, right? With it, is taking with it, because some things need to be left. Winter teaches us, right? Like, let go. The trees are letting go of their leaves. They've already done it, right? Nature's letting go. The bears are hibernating. Nobody's, people are taking time off of work. It's time to let go. My mom's present in a really big way. She pulled the garland off the Christmas tree last night. It's no joke. I was sitting there talking to my son. I posted about this on Facebook. And we were just talking, and at the same time we both looked at each other and looked over at the tree. And nothing moved in the room, but this garland, this metal garland, which I decorated the tree and I stuck it into the tree at different levels, like came down and was swinging like this, like a pendulum at the bottom of the tree. And we both went, did you see that? Because we'd been kind of talking about her. Hi, Mom. Yeah. She's not so subtle. Yeah. I finished setting up her nativity yesterday, and so I was like, I kept going, Mom, do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? And then she was like, get to the garland off the tree. I'm like, oh, that's a yes. So blessings to you and the comings and goings. I see you with relatives who aren't with you. I leave a place setting for my mom at the holiday table. You probably do too. This year I'm cooking Mexican food, which she loved. So I'm going to leave an enchilada and a little mole tamale for her. Yeah, I wouldn't be subtle either. I would take that garland off and throw it at you. I'm going to be the scariest ghost in your life. You're going to be like, that was definitely Athena. She took that ornament off and threw it. All right, back to the stillness. Welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the East, new beginnings, new possibilities, a new year. You are here, you are here, you are here. Welcoming in the guides and guardians of the South. Passion, purpose, courage, transformation. You are here, you are here. It's a big, low drum tonight. Welcoming in the guides and the guardians of the West. Emotional healing, renewal, resilience, nurturing a mother's love here in the West. It's a big hug. Also abundance and prosperity for this year and for the next. You are here, you are here. Guides and guardians of the North. This is peace, patience, presence, protection. This is grandparent energy in the North. The big trees, the slow-moving animals. This is buffalo and elk. This is bear hibernating. You are here, you are here. And let's just call in the fifth element tonight to make the five-pointed star, which you always think of as Christmas. That's the star Sirius that guided the wise men to baby Jesus. They brought gifts of myrrh, frankincense, and gold. They brought myrrh and frankincense because they knew that the smoke was antibacterial, antimicrobial, and antifungal. It would protect him. They were magi. They were magicians. They knew exactly what they were doing. They brought gold as currency for safe passage if the baby and the family had to travel. We thank them, the wise ones, for their gifts as we complete the star with the element of magic. You are here, you are here, you are here. And together we say, Amen. Aho. And so it is. You ever think about that, the magic? I was always curious as a little girl, like, why frankincense? But do you know what frankincense does? There's almost no virus on the planet that can stand up to frankincense. They knew it would keep the baby alive. Also, myrrh seals wounds, and myrrh is a fire starter, so if you can't get your fire going, you put myrrh resin under it. It's an incendiary agent. And gold was currency in all economies, so no matter where the family had to travel, they could trade it for whatever they needed, food. Pretty cool, huh? Even today, we love frankincense, myrrh, and gold. Okay. I didn't have magi when I was little. I would have loved to have had really wise people bringing me little fun gifts in containers. But that's why we do baby showers. You get diapers instead. But I often thought, even these days when I get invited to a baby shower, I'm like, I should come with like a little container of frankincense. Although the parents would probably think I'm crazy. Okay. So let's begin. Pretty cool, right? Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to all of you. I'm so happy you're here. So let's make a circle on our grapevine wreath. Grapes represent abundance too. My family grew them. Yours probably did too. I grow them now. I'm not as good at it as they were. So we're just going to honor the sacred circle with that. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take some of this really beautiful fresh cedar that we have and just take some of the tips. And when you take your fresh, I'm gonna have to get scissors to do it because when it's so fresh, it's hard to. I don't want to pull it too hard. See if I can find one that's more willing. It might be hard. Maybe it's not meant to go. If we have scissors. I don't want it. Oh, there we go. I got one. I got it. You got it. It went for me. Always harvest from the bottom, and because the plant can sustain itself as long as you leave the branches and boughs at the top. If you really have a hard time taking it, you can kind of turn it in a circle and then pull. But if it doesn't want to go, don't force it. And then I have a tradition that I do, and I'll teach more about this in our apothecary program next year. Some of these don't want to go, so I'm not going to force it. Okay, I've got enough. Where you took from goes your breath as an offering of gratitude. I use my hands too. Just to thank the wood and seal the wood. One of the little branches that I took off made a heart where I removed it, which I think is really beautiful. So that's a gift back to the plant itself. And I like to begin by attaching my live natural. I know I need clippers, but here's the thing. I don't like as a rule to use shovels or clippers if I don't have to. I try to remove branches with my hands, remove flowers with my hands, and open the earth with my hands. It doesn't make me always the cleanest kid in the neighborhood, but I was always taught to remove whatever you can from the mother with your hands rather than using tools, which can, sometimes they're cleaner, but they're not always as pure. If you are going to use tools, it's always nice to clean your tools afterward with rubbing alcohol. I'm sure you know that, just to keep your tools clean. I need a bowling, I know. That's a little bit of a power tool, though. I don't know if we want to go that far tonight. Giving thanks to Grandfather Cedar. Now you can glue these in, or you can just simply place them. Since they're fresh, they're going to be a little bit more pliable. So I'm just going to see, I always look to see where does it naturally want to go into the wreath. If I don't have to glue the branches, that's the best. And sometimes you don't when they're fresh. Like, look at that. It becomes a meditation just to slip it in. Because sometimes when we glue things, we're forcing them. Your stones are a different matter. I mean, they're not going to just fall in, but sometimes when we let our pieces of our natural branches just fall in, they go right where they kind of need to, and then those are going to dry beautifully. So I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to glue them. I'm going to let them sort of slip in and dry where they are. And it looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's probably not exactly where I would have placed them if I was going to glue them either, so I kind of love that about it. Right? Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to peel it, but yes, sometimes, because sometimes if you peel, it leaves too much of a wound on the stem. But you can also peel them off if you would like. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do in your bag of tricks, you received. I'm obsessed with the little pine cones. Did you see how cute these are? By the way, there's some dried cedar in here too that you can add to your wreath, which I think is really beautiful too. And there's a little bit of pine. One of the reasons I love to work with pine is cedar is strength. It's very paternal, which for me I love. I am, as much as I love the divine feminine, I love the divine masculine. I really do. I'm so grateful for the masculine. I was lucky to be raised by an amazing father who's absolutely my hero in this life, and he knows it. And not everybody had that experience, so he has adopted other people as their dad over the years. Unfortunately, he's not able to come to our office where we are now, but he used to come to the old SG headquarters, and do you know, he used to hug every employee before he left. It would take him sometimes like 20 minutes, but he literally did not leave the building without hugging everybody. So I always think of pine and cedar as being sort of like the fathers, or just good men. Do you know what I mean? Good men represent strength, but also they represent compassion and love. And so for me, that's what the divine masculine in its highest form. And I will say, you don't have to be male to hold the masculine. I have a lot of divine masculine in me, and when I'm holding that masculine well, it means that I'm being loving and nurturing, but also strong. And I like to think I learned from him how to do that in a good way. So honoring him tonight with this too. And I get to see him tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. Okay. I bought my dad, it sounds silly, but I bought him honey from Greece. I imported it for Christmas, and I'm really excited to give it to him. Because honey, the bees in any local region bring the energy of that region, and so it's really special, rare honey from the region of Greece where he comes from, and it's a simple gift, but I'm really excited because he loves yogurt with honey, and I do too, for breakfast. It's one of his favorite things, and so I have special Greek honey. That's kind of pretty, isn't it? Again, yours is going to be perfect for you. It's like whatever resonates with you or whatever feels right to you is exactly what you're going to do. I could spend all night doing this because I love making wreaths. I used to sell them on our Etsy shop. I used to make them one by one. If If you remember, like 11 years ago, I don't have time to do that now, unfortunately, but some of you still have those wreaths that I used to make, and I used to spend hours just putting them together for you. So there's mine. Isn't that cool? Yeah, if you have loved ones who come from different parts of the world, a lot of you have such diverse lineage, import honey from where they're from. It's when you don't know what to get someone, I guarantee you, honey from their region will always be a welcome gift, because they may not even think of that. Like, oh my God, it's honey from my village, or, you know, we're old country people, so. And you can get it, whether it's like rare regions of Italy or rare regions of Greece. Okay, so we have ribbons in the 3 colors of the precious metals tonight: ruby, emerald, and sapphire. And so we're going to start with our sapphire colored ribbon, which is going to represent your wisdom that you are. Remember, we're pulling everything in tonight. So wisdom tonight, as we tie, I'm going to tie a single knot. You can get fancy, you could braid these and then attach them, but I want to set my intentions kind of one by one. So as I tie my knot here, I am pulling in wisdom from all directions and holding gratitude for the wisdom that 2023 has brought. And then ruby represents passion, and it also represents love. It's the birthstone of all y'all Cancers, so it's like really divine love and appreciation and passion. And so I'm going to give thanks as I tie this knot for all of the love that 2023 has brought. And it has brought a lot. Ruby also represents unconditional love, which is my favorite kind of love, like the love you can't lose, which is really cool. It's one of the reasons I love being a parent. I always tell my kids, like, there's nothing you can ever do that will make me stop loving you, which is really true. And then the emerald ribbon, which represents discernment, and also your heart chakra, so and prosperity and abundance too. And so I'm giving thanks for all of the abundance and the discernment that 2023 brought, putting me on my path. And then, like I said, if you wanted to get kind of fancy Nancy about it, you could like braid these and stuff. And then if you're a little OCD, you could trim these up to make them all even. But I kind of like that they're not even. So, because actually when it hangs, it's prettier when they're kind of, it's a little more boho if they're not all the same length. But you can trim it up and Virgo it out or do whatever you want to do with that. Okay. Now, the next thing we're gonna do, and I gotta make sure I'm connecting this correctly, which I think I am. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is you have 3 little quartz charms. You have a moon and 2 points. So you're going to put, if you're like me, 2 quartz points in the moon in the middle. Well, only had 2, ribbons? I'm sorry, I have 3. Make your wishes. I gave you the colors. Do what you will. Sometimes I get more than you do. And by the way, so I don't know. By the way, I will tell you, Team SG made a beautiful one, and I actually think it's stunning. And it's just a different model where they wrapped it around, but not the whole way, and then kind of tied it off here to make, it's more of a traditional looking wreath. Whereas mine is going to be like a little more non-traditional, but it's all correct. Do you know what I mean? There's no wrong way to do the craft. And you guys know this is true when I tell you, you've got stuff in your craft closet that you need to go get. You're going to be like, oh my God, I've got starry ribbon for days. I'm going to go get all my ribbon. And you will make yours beautiful. So now we're going to make 3 wishes at this moment of stillness. And so I want you to close your eyes, and as you attach each of your charms, these are wishes for the new year, because technically Yule is the end of the year for a lot of us. Tomorrow begins longer days, shorter nights. And so I'm going to make 3 wishes as I take my little lobster claws and claw them on in there. And again, you can't do this wrong. There's no way to screw it up. Except if you don't attach it. And then you did screw it up. So get it onto one of your little grapevines and make your first wish. I actually want to move that to the left because I'm figuring out how I'm going to hang it, and I want to make sure that they're going to be centered. So I'm going to adjust that and just reinstate my wish real quick. Unclaw you and reclaw you. Yeah, that looks good. So there's my first wish. And then my second wish is going to be the little moon. I know you got 3 lobster claws. This is what I know for sure. You want me to wear it on my head? I have a really big head. I actually really do anatomically. My dad always says it's because my brain is so big, but I mean, that's not true. So I don't know why I have such a big head. Physically, I'm not talking about being big-headed, but I like when people go to buy me hats, they're always like, whoa, what happened up there? So make your second wish, be intentional about it. And then make your third wish. Come on, lobster claw. Aww. I have to borrow the one from the, maybe the universe doesn't want me to, oh, there it goes. Make my third wish. Yeah. It's such a mom wish, my third wish. But I feel like if my mom was here, she would have made wishes for me. And that's what that looks like. And I kind of like it's pretty from the back too, but that's what the front looks like with my 3 hanging. And then your chain, which you're going to use, I halfway want to put this on my dog because I feel like he would look like Mr. T. It looks like I bought Paxton because he's kind of gangsta. I bought him a chain, like a big gold chain. I did on Amazon for $10, but it was a really funny joke in our house for a little while. He didn't like it, so I took it off. But what you're going to do is you're going to hang this from the chain. So you can either put the 2 lobster claws really separately, or you can put them close together. And this is just to make it so that you can hang it and the color of the gold matches your wreath. So put that somewhere where it's not going to move around too much. I did. I bought him a total gangster chain. My friends call him Tupac. It's weird. He has this like little gangster vibration to him, but maybe it's, I don't know what it is about him, but he's kind of for being a little rescue animal, he's very confident. Okay. And then attach the other side of your lobster claw. And again, just do it in the middle where but thank you so much for that, Raven. Like I said, if you don't have a wreath to craft, you can always take a branch off of your Christmas tree if you want, and decorate it that way too. And that's what mine looks like. And then I will hang it on the wall. And then the last step for tonight is to attach your crystals. We gave you these little celestial, hold on just a second. We gave you these little celestial gold aura amethysts. So we have 3 of those. If you want to put like, I kind of feel like I want to put 1 on each one of my ribbons. But then we also gave you these gold aura kyanites. So I'll show you what kind of my thought process is. But then we gave you a Herkimer diamond too to magnify all the energy. So my feeling as I look at mine right now is that I kind of want to put the, maybe. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I'm feeling like I want to put I'm going to attach, I'll show you, the gold aura amethyst on top of each of the ribbons. And that's just a quick hit of the glue gun. Thank God for hot glue guns. I always say nothing is safe as long as I have a glue gun. I was one of those kids who bedazzled their jeans in junior high, which like my kids would just die if I put any kind of like it's so not a thing now, but So when I tell them that, they're like, don't tell anyone you did that. That's horrifying. So I kind of put my gold aura amethyst right there, and then I'm going to put my Herkimer diamond on top of it, and I'll show you what that looks like. It feels kind of good. And again, Team SG made one as a prototype. Mine is so different, but like I'm halfway into it because it is so different. It's mine. And I'll show you theirs, which is just gorgeous. And I forgot my pine cones, but I'm going to do it in just a second. But see how different they are? And they're both beautiful. It just represents you and your journey. Yeah, so the quartz points have little lobster claw situations, and then they hang. Isn't that pretty? And then I am going to put my pine cones on because I think they're the cutest damn little pine cones ever. And I'm not going to let this night go by without pine cones. And pine cones represent abundance. Did you know that? And they're actually, the reason your pineal gland is called a pineal gland is because it's shaped like a pine cone. And what's your pineal gland? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's the little organ in the middle of your brain, right behind your third eye, that governs your intuition. It's a true story. This one does not want to stay. It's like a little jerk pine cone, kind of. You're going to live right there, whether you like it or not. It's a very Leo way of crafting. You will do as I say. And then I have one more pine cone. I wish I had like 40 of them, but then the whole thing would be pine cones. I would way overdo it if I had more pine cones. So it's probably for the best. Right here. Cute. This other one is still a jerk. It's okay. He's gonna behave. Pine cones. Look at that one. It fell off. Shit. Give your pine cones a minute to dry. Listen, if you're not having fun while you're crafting, what are you doing? I mean, who wants to go to a crafting party where people are like, and now you will apply the pine cone, and it's like, oh, that went exactly as I planned. It's so great. I'm gonna tell you, shit goes sideways and you just roll with it because, and honestly, if we had wine or some kind of like spiked situation, this would be even more fun, but we're absent that tonight, so we're gonna talk about asshole pine cones instead. Put your hands over your ears, kids. Auntie Athena's swearing again. Okay. Actually, I changed gears for a minute, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing in just a second. And I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to redo my pinecone sitch. Oh, maybe they're supposed to be friends. Wait for it. It's about to get really exciting. My life mantra. Hold on. I put so much glue on this thing. If it doesn't stay, I'm just gonna start yelling at it. Okay. I'm actually gonna stick like a piece of something else in there too to kind of stabilize it. My pine. Let's see if that's cute. And then blow on it. Good luck. I think this is good. Let me show you where I landed. I'm really happy with it. Isn't it pretty? I mean, it makes me happy. Yours might, like I said, look completely different from mine. I ended up putting the gold aura kyanite at the bottom, but like I said, Team SG kind of fanned them around a little bit, and I think that's pretty too. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way. We gave you little other charms, but I don't seem as talented with that. I do like the idea of adding the little Star Sirius charm to it, though. So I think I am going to add that. I kind of want it on my Mr. Chi chain, though. Like that. It's like a little secret charm that only I know about that will hang on the back. That's the star, like I said, that the wise men followed to find Jesus on the night of his birth. which, like I said, used to be kind of just a story to me until I had my really radical life-altering experience. So the last thing we want to do is say a prayer together. May the energy of this wreath and the infusions and intentions that you set with it, may they bless you on this longest night and throughout the entire year ahead. And I just want you to move your hand over the wreath in a circle and make sure you stop where you began and just send that energy in. Hold the 3 crystals with that intention. Take a breath there. Touch the Herkimer diamond with that intention too. Hold your hand there. It's really good I don't have glitter because I would have taken this to a bedazzled place, and I just don't think that's what was supposed to happen to this Perry tonight. Please don't give her glitter, it's a nightmare. I'm out of glue, so I also think that's a sign from Jesus that we're done for tonight. Also, I think it's 6 o'clock, so that's also another sign. Okay, I'm happy with it. I'm really happy. And thank you to Team SG for making such a beautiful craft and bringing us all the tools that we needed to make it. And I'm going to hang that at home. Whatever, it's kind of a, you know, if any of you, by the way, are asking who Mr. T is, I need you to Google that. I can't help you with that tonight. That's your homework for this evening from Professor Perrakis, is to understand who Mr. T is. Glitter on the pine cones would be pretty. Okay, now we're going to release all those guides and guardians who were so generous with their time and attention this evening. And I hope that you had fun with us tonight in our Yule crafting ceremony. And Team SG, if you could bring me our invoke tools, because I want to talk about those in just a minute. Can you believe the next time we gather for a high holiday is for Imbolc, which, like I said, will mean that we are halfway between winter and spring. So thank you, guides and guardians of the element of magic, spirit, star Sirius, for guiding us and being a source of direction, inspiration, and wisdom. We release you tonight. Thank you, guides and guardians of the north. You are certainly the direction we are honoring tonight. When we turn from fall to winter, we turn from water to earth. And so thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the north. Thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the west. We're going backward now. Thank you for your nurturing, your kindness, and your healing on all levels. We release you with gratitude. Thank you and releasing as well the guides and the guardians of the south. Thank you for passion, strength, and transformation. And finally, thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the east. New beginnings, new cycles, and a new year coming up. We are grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your love and your presence all year long. May the longest night or the longest day, depending on your hemisphere, be a blessing to you always. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Nobody said they didn't know who Mr. T is, but invariably when I mention somebody from like the 80s, there will be somebody who goes, oh, I haven't heard of that person before. And I'm always like, that's where Google comes in. I'm so happy to start a new year and a new cycle with you too. And by the way, if you enjoyed tonight, we do have a free gift for you. At sagegoddess.com, we make worksheets for you. It's 3 pages and it's free to download. It tells you everything about Yule, and it gives you some journaling questions for tonight. So it tells you the herbs and oils to work with for tonight, and it asks you, what do you need to reflect on? Where do you need more rest? Because winter is definitely the season of rest. How does your light want to shine? What are you dreaming up that's ready to emerge in the spring? So this is free for you to download over at sagegoddess.com. We would love for you to get it if you would like to work with it. And then the tools for Imbolc are coming. The next time we gather is for High Holiday is February 1st. And so we're going to tell you about those tools, and they're 23% off tonight with code MINT. I don't know if you saw my video earlier today, but it's one of the coolest in-bulk kits we've ever done. And it starts with, I'll just take those, candle crafting. So we're giving you 3 sets of gemstones, chipstones, because you're going to make this. Yours will look like this when it comes to you, and then you're gonna make it look like that. It's like Food Network. I always say, like, oh look, I have raw ingredients. All of a sudden I have a cooked meal. But we're giving you all the supplies to make an in bulk candle, and we're gonna meditate and place all of our stones to welcome in the midpoint between winter and spring. And then you're also getting the centerpiece of the whole kit is the coolest. It's a little vase that hangs on a chain with a tree of life shaped like a heart, a rainbow apophyllite cluster, and then it's filled with little chipstones inside. I think it may have traveled to another location for right now, but if you go to sagegoddess.com and you look at the in-bulk kit, you will see the perfume and the candle and the beautiful vase, and then you'll get your beeswax candle, like I said, and then all the chipstones to decorate it. And then we have a enter to win of this gorgeous barite with pyrite cluster for you. And so if you get your tools before midnight tonight at sagegoddess.com, again, your code is MINT. It's one of the most beautiful in-bulk kits we've ever offered you. One of you is going to enter to win that. Oh my God. I just put flowers inside of it. Look, 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 look. You guys, this is the centerpiece of the kit. So it is a functional vase. This hole you'll fill with water and put flowers inside. And then there's a rainbow apophyllite cluster, 2 green aura points, the tree of life, and it has a hook to hang it. This is going to go in my kitchen window. I just think it's so beautiful. And you can put air plants in here, or I also love to pick herbs from my garden because they last forever. So pick some rosemary or pick some thyme or, you know, basil or whatever you love to grow and hang those there, or just fresh flowers from your garden. So you get that, the candle, the perfume, and all the chipstones as part of your in-bulk kit at sagegoddess.com. Isn't that pretty? We custom made this. I thought it was so cool that there's a rainbow apophyllite cluster. It's not quartz. And so it's a really special gemstone from start to finish. It turned out even more beautifully than we thought it would. And so go get your tools. Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you to Team SG, and I want to say thank you to you for being here tonight. I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy Yule. I will be live with you Sunday night. I don't know if you know this. It's an annual tradition. This year is the 200th anniversary, did you know that, of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. It was written 200 years ago. Once my kids go to bed and everything is quiet, I sit and read to you from the same book I've been reading from for I think 10 years now. And so I will read you 'Twas the Night Before Christmas live on our Facebook page in my pajamas with a glass of wine. And so I hope, just keep your Facebook page open on Christmas Eve if you want to hang out with me and let me read to you. It's a tradition that we love so much. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you on Christmas Eve, everybody. But Merry Christmas if I don't see you then. Happy Solstice, and more to come. I will tell you, you have until December 31st to register for the Apothecary program, which is my 2024 program on everything from herbal wisdom to essential oils and aromatherapy. We are building your legacy with the most beautiful leather-bound book of wisdom. So if you'd like to learn more about how to work with me online in 2024, we haven't started yet, and there's plenty of time. 1 class a month is happening on Sundays from my house, which is really cool. We've never done that before. And so, and that's called Sacred Circle. So you can join just Sacred Circle or the whole program if you want. So sagegoddess.com/apothecary. If you'd like to join us there, we'd love to have you. All right, we'll see you soon. I'll be on the main Facebook page. That's facebook.com/sagegoddess on Christmas Eve. And we will see you there, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your evening.